Hey, howdy and hello, folks. Welcome back into T1A. I'm Tank. That's Cranny. And we are getting into Week 5 breakouts.
Welcome in, everybody. Today we are going to be doing breakouts. These are guys that we think are going to break out this week. They're going to put up points that people aren't really thinking they're going to, and that is shown in the projections on Sleeper, on probably most platforms right now. Hopefully everybody catches the fuck on, but they probably won't. So here is our must meet one of these conditions to be a breakout player for us. You got to score more than 25 points this week. So that's a hefty workload. But imagine putting that guy in your flex spot because you're like, shit, don't fucking do. You find this guy on the waiver wire. 2, they get an increased workload. We all know how that happens, right? Injuries, shit like that.
Yeah.
Right?
They get more rushes, more
3,
volume.
3, they need a favorable matchup. That means they're playing a defense or a team that just flat out sucks. So it looks juicy, fat, juicy, so want to take a bite out of it.
Yeah. Like a team's defense is weak against the rush, and you're looking at the running back. Simple things like that.
Yeah, and 4, exceed projected fantasy points. So we're kind of nailing that with the score of 25 plus, but we just want to make sure we're clearing that, hey, look, we're looking to exceed fantasy projections. Pair that with the 25 points and put it together. 2 plus 2 is 4. I mean, come on.
All right, we're going to go ahead and roll into these here. The first one up is actually off of your list. Go ahead and tell us about them.
Yeah, buddy, you should know by now if you've watched the videos enough that I'm a KJ Osborne fan.
Very much so.
From the jump. And he's always had the opportunity sitting there in Minnesota. There's just always some other asshole sitting in front of him that he couldn't get going, right? It was Diggs before with Thielen being there, and it was Jefferson with Thielen, and then Thielen leaves, and then they draft Jordan Addison. And it's like, fuck me, when is this guy going to get a shot? Because he is a good player. Yes, He's had a little bit of a case of the drop at the beginning of the year, but we're not really going to pay attention to that. Here are the ups. Here's why I think KJ Osborne could be a breakout player for you this week. The Vikings are throwing the ball on average 39 times a game. It's a shitload of balls going around.
That's a ton.
And granted, that's going to Justin Jefferson, who's getting targeted like it's going out of style. That's going to TJ Hawkinson. Yeah, buddy. And it's going a little bit to the running backs, too. So that leaves a little bit of scraps at the table for Jordan Addison and KJ Osborne. Now, look, Addison has shown just as much as KJ has shown this year. Both putting up big plays, both scoring touchdowns. But the thing that's really separating me from them is the amount of time they're both spending on the field. KJ is clearly spending time in 2 wide receiver sets on the field. He's averaging 90% plus snap percentage per game, while Addison is lower at like 65% on average playing snaps. So he's coming out on 3 wide receiver sets. They're not always running 3 wide receiver sets. He's sometimes getting stepped out. He's sometimes getting in. So Addison's like the joker piece. KJ Osborne is the solid foundation. He's the guy that's going to be out there more. So I want to have him out there more with those snaps. Add in the fact that Kirk is a top 3 in passing yards in the NFL and the number 1 overall quarterback for passing touchdowns. The volume is going to be there for KJ. There's opportunity there. He's already done it this year. He has shown he could do it in the past before. My estimated target share for him is he sees 8 targets, which would be more than he's seen so far this year, as high as 6. He gets all 8 of those. He kicks the drops in a game against Kansas City where they know they're going to have to come out big. He turns that into 80 yards, a touchdown. That's 22 plus fantasy points. We'll go to 80 yards. I just think that he's probably going to catch like a crap load of these really short and then get one over the top. Who knows? So it could be like 120. I mean, come on. I don't want to be too brash out there. But 22 fantasy points, come on. That's pretty goddamn decent, especially with his projection right now is at 5.65 on Sleeper.
Yes, very much so. So he's already scored 2 touchdowns this year, so he is getting targeted in the end zone. He is getting some looks to get some plays deep. So definitely a viable look, especially when you're looking at snap share. Like, if they're on the field, they're going to have opportunities.
Yeah, you can't be catching passes if you're standing on the sidelines. Sorry, Jordan.
All right. So let's get into the next player here. It's my breakout player who's coming off of his suspension, Jameson Williams.
He looks so skinny in that picture.
What's funny is it cut off his leg.
Did it cut his leg down?
He's super slim. He's been sitting on the bench so damn long.
That's what I'm saying. He looks so skinny because you can tell right there on his backside there between his toe and his knee, like something ain't right. That's a scrawny ass fucking leg.
He ain't got no ass. He's just hip. The Lions already passing 249 yards a game, which is 8th in the NFL. He's already seeing the other receivers besides Amon-Ra getting 6 targets, whether it's Laporta, whether it's Josh Reynolds. So him coming in should really seat him in a great spot to see a lot of volume to get go, which he doesn't need a lot of to make a big play for the Lions. What is also kind of been stirring up this week is Amon-Ra has had an ab issue, and he's missed some time at practice. He hasn't actually practiced yet this week, so this could also lead out to a very big volume increase for what could be his NFL debut here.
Yeah, I mean, if St. Brown sits, that's huge, and I think that definitely leans like James Williams then becomes like less of a breakout because everybody's gonna know he's gonna probably do better. Yeah. And even if St. Brown plays, Goff has already shown that he can feed more than one wide receiver. St. Brown is 8 in that offense. Josh Reynolds is 8 in that offense. Khalil Shakir has. Sam Laporta has. Gibbs has. So like there's enough to go around. Beauty about Jameson Williams, what you gotta love about having him as a breakout player, is the fact that he could do it all on one fucking play. And then do it again, and it's a breakout week, right? So 4 for 82 and a tutty. I love that. That's a really good projection there, 18.2. I'm telling you right now, my hope for him is a little bit higher than that. I think they pepper him with targets, they make him feel good, they bring him back into the team, right? He's just a fucking burner. He's gonna go play up against Carolina, and I don't know if it's the 49ers offense or what the hell, but they looked lost against the 49er offense last week in the passing defense.
They couldn't find the ball on any level.
Yeah, it was just wide open dudes fucking everywhere. So if the Lions can block the Cardinals, keep Goff clean, and he gets the time to spot Jameson Williams down the field, that one tutty right there, and you could just chalk up maybe 3. Who fucking knows?
Always fun to see, especially when there's big plays at hand. We've seen Achane already won over a lot of fantasy hearts so far. Yeah. And, this is just another name for the list. We've got Kamara back. He shined in his performance, so the expectations are high.
Yeah, fully agree with it.
All right, let's transition into your second player you have on the list here. So to me, this was the most shocking. Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, if you go back and you look at our week 5 waiver pickups, I got Logan Thomas on there. Fuck is Logan Thomas doing right now on Thursday night getting himself blowing up? Just saying. This is another
rolling in them fantasy points.
Another one of my little darlings. Now, it is all dependent, of course, on Javonte Williams playing. But the fact of the matter is, Javonte was limited in practice this past week, or in practice today. Didn't practice the day before. So he has to get a full in practice on Friday to not go into the designation. Here's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is, what's the rush? Why are you trying to get that guy back? Like, he just blew the shit out of his knee last year, rushed back, came back, looked good. Now he's got a hip injury or a quad, whatever the fuck they're going to call it right now. The fact of the matter is the guy could use a little bit of rest. And Jaleel, laughing his way all the way to the end zone, put up a fucking great game. He had what was it? Hold on, I got it right here. 7 carries for 72 yards and 3 catches for 32 yards at a touchdown.
That's ridiculous.
The beauty of that, right, is it's not just a one-time thing. He got put in the game, it was against a shitty defense, and he just showed out. No, because in the preseason, the guy had 21 carries for 113 yards. That's a 5.38 yards per carry average. 3 rushing touchdowns, 8 targets, 7 catches, 33 yards, and another touchdown. Led the league with 4 touchdowns in the preseason. The kid is a big-time player. He had 8,166 yards on 1,250 attempts with 79 touchdowns, averaging 6.5 yards per carry in college. This kid knows how to run the ball. I know he's small of stature, but in today's day in NFL, I don't think that fucking matters anymore.
Not anymore.
Because he's only going to go out there. He's only maybe going to touch the ball 20 times. Maybe, and that's it. That's a hell of a fucking workload. Hell, he played damn near half this fucking game. He played 33% of his snaps and saw 10 touches. So I can't see him not having an opportunity with Javonte being out.
Yeah.
That he can't go.
Ryan hasn't looked nearly as efficient. as what was expected. So this guy's coming in. He's already got the eye of the coach. He's showing out he can do rushing. He can do receiving. So that's going to make him more valuable to get on the field, especially while Denver is looking for a spark. They're looking for something to start this team, and getting a few big plays from an undrafted player, it's huge.
Yeah, like you were just saying, he was undrafted. So the team went, got him. Like he didn't show up and try out. Fucking went and signed him. They wanted him on the team.
Yep.
And he earned his spot on the roster. He showed out in preseason. He got his first opportunity in a real NFL game during the regular season. Showed out. The trajectory of a running back coming out of college is huge. And Jaleel is already on that trajectory right now. Now all he needs is Javonte not to play this week. Throws up a boom week for you. P. Ryan to get a little hurt. Javonte to get a little bit more banged up. And next thing you know, this kid is seeing 15 to 20 touches every week in what is showing to be a pretty good offense. Denver's defense has really let them down. The offense, though, has maintained pace. They're putting up stats. Been decent for fantasy football. You've been invested in Russell Wilson, Cortland Sutton. Those guys, they put out for you. Here's the next guy in line. So I feel very, very comfortable saying he gets 6 targets, 12 carries. On those 12 carries, he gets 75 yards and a tutty. And on those 6 targets, he gets 4 catches, 50 yards, and another tutty. Now, look, I know it's the New York Jets. Who gives a fuck? I don't care. They suck, right? And even if Denver's defense sucks too, and they're going to be just getting points tossed up on them, Denver's offense, I think, is good enough to continue to move the ball. The way McLaughlin plays out of the backfield isn't traditional. He doesn't really run, your basic I formation type shit. I think he ran a lot of his stuff basically towards the edges and things like that. Where New York's a little bit vulnerable. Yes, they're fast. They'll probably eat that stuff up. They only did I already say they only let up 3.5 per carry this year?
What's that?
I don't know if I already said it, but the Jets only allow 3.5 yards per rush. But I don't think that's this kid's game. This is like they're going to get him the ball and move. He's going to be in the shotgun. He's going to get these sweeping little RPO plays. He's going to get dump offs. I really honestly fucking hope Javonte doesn't play. Here's the thing, though, too. Even if Javonte plays, fine. Take him off my breakout player, right? Okay, he's not going to score the 28.5 I think he's going to score right here, I'm saying, which is a bold-ass number. I'll agree. But he's still going to go in there and mix in. I don't think Javonte's going to come out that early in the game with a quad issue, not come back in, and then wait another week and say, all right, I'm good to go. I mean, he might, but then coach's decision might just be like, hey, look, we're going to take it easy. Sure, all right, fine, dress. You're going to get a couple carries. We'll even give you the honorary start. But watch out for McLaughlin. Even if Javonte plays, I would still say this kid.
I think what happens with Javonte is they set him for a week. It's supposed to be a tough defense, strong defensive line. Give him a break. Roll him next week.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I'm really hoping. I'm trending towards this kid getting to play as a starter or fill in with P. Ryan.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said before, I was shocked to see him on the list, shocked to see the point total you had. And then after you start breaking it down, it's definitely there as a possibility.
Word. That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
Thomas.
I have a running back as well. I think Brees just destroys said team that you were just talking about. So they're going against the Broncos, and Saleh came out already. He's like, Hall is no longer on a snap count. That's huge. That's going to be big for him because he's going to actually be able to start and get all the rushing, the passing, and it's going to be against a defense that allowed the most rushing yards. They've allowed more rushing yards by 240 to the next team.
Yeah.
So even if you took out that Miami game, they're probably still one of the worst rushing teams, if not the worst rushing team.
Yeah, they can't stop nobody.
There is a very good chance that this could be a shootout, but it could be a different kind of shootout as it goes through the running backs. So big plays rushing, big plays receiving, going over defensive lines. This could be the game for us, for fantasy players. I mean, it's not going to be the exciting one where all the receivers get all the big stuff. It could be check downs and short passes just controlling the game.
Yeah, I've got my eye on this game, especially for fantasy reasons, because of the same things you're saying. I wanted to kind of try to figure out what are the pieces I'm going after for Denver. New York's definitely the better defense than Denver is. But it came over when you started looking at what the Jets were going to be able to do with how just pitiful this Denver run defense is. Yeah. And it fits right to what the Jets want to do. They want to get Zach Wilson comfortable. They want to get him in easy down and distance situations, right? They want to keep the flow going. They want to stay on pace. They want to keep everything rolling. And how do you do that? Is you just feed Breece Hall, you feed Dalvin Cook against the worst run defense in the NFL. You play off a play action, and play actions lead to quick check downs, especially when the initial read isn't open. So yeah, a lot of opportunity in this game for Breece. Cook has already shown he looks cooked.
Yeah,
he really does.
He looks done.
Yeah, he looks like Lenny. He looks like Uncle Lenny did last year when White ended up taking over.
This was his lap. He was hoping to wrangle this thing into a Super Bowl.
He's like, bitch, there goes my fucking ring. Yeah, son of a, damn it.
Can you guys trade me back to Minnesota?
Yeah, I think I like Breece also to put up a big week, not just because Saleh said that he's not going to be on snap count anymore, but just because I think this offense will definitely take more pressure off Zach Wilson, try not to put the game in his hands, and put the game on the offensive line and these two running backs that have it both really good.
Yeah, they've got some beasts on that offensive line. Becton and somebody else.
Yeah, some big dude.
Elijah Vera Tucker. There we go.
Yeah, he doesn't score fantasy points. So.
No, they don't score fantasy points.
And you only know him because he's from USC.
Okay. You betcha. All right, so expected stats for Breece this week: 18 rushes, 112 yards, 5 receptions for 26, and a touchdown for 24.8 points, which we all know could be higher because he probably won't be limited to just one touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the speed of Raheem Mostert or A-Chain, but that doesn't matter. Those guys just turn that into touchdowns. He's just going to get tackled after 35 yards, that's all. That's still a really good run.
Yeah. And I think the more that they can control their running game and the linebackers' eyes, keeping them down on the running backs, the more it's going to help Zach Wilson have just that little less pressure. Could be a big game for everybody.
Yeah, I think Garrett Wilson and Lazard have pretty good games this week too. And I'm not talking going ape shit and like that, but we've all been let down by Garrett Wilson over the past few weeks. I think he actually gets his projection this week plus a little bit more.
Yeah, he's going to be able to start. You won't have to sweat it the whole time.
Yeah, and Lazard, I think he's just going to be a beneficiary of play actions and being over the middle of the field, big body guy. It just seems to be one of those games where they are play action, get the linebackers to scoot up a little bit, create that pocket behind them and in front of the safeties, and let Zach just kind of eat in the middle of the field as best he can, keep the chains moving. Well, it seems to be like a game like
keep his vision in so he doesn't have to work with so much. All right, let's move on to our last guy here on the list. You got Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, when I first thought of this one, it seemed a little too obvious, right? Higgins goes down, so there's your potential for increased workload, right? And then you kind of start thinking about it too, like Burrow is having a shit year. This offense is just struggling. But at some point, and I think if nobody is thinking this, or if you're not thinking this, you're wrong. At some point, they're going to have a click moment, and this offense is just going to go ape shit. They tried to do it. It's
going to explode. Yeah.
Yeah, they tried to do it a couple weeks ago, I think it was, with Chase getting like 16 targets, wherever the hell it was.
Yeah.
That didn't really jumpstart it. They need everybody just kind of get on the same page. And Burrow being out, I feel like they're playing preseason ball right now. With that said, though, in steps Tyler Boyd. Just this kid is 28 years old. He's a professional wide receiver. And that's all you need alongside Jamar Chase. And he's going to be perfectly fine getting all of the little garbage routes, garbage throw-offs that Jamar Chase is too covered on to catch the ball in. Facing Arizona. Arizona is a decent run defense. They're middle of the pack. Their passing defense is their weak spot for sure. Right? They're like 11th in passing yards.
Not much of a rush there.
Yeah, they were 11th most yards given up before they played the Niners this past week. So I'm not really sure where they're at, but I know the Niners torched them. So Boyd has 27 targets this year. Higgins has 32. So Boyd is already a part of the offense. He's stepping in, like, I'm going to take over. He's already been in the mix. He's probably going to just step out to the outside, continue his inside slot work also. They might bring somebody else in. Who the hell that would be, I don't even know. Who's on the team right
now? Irwin is the next guy up. Irwin, Yosevas.
What's sure, those guys Tony's talking about.
Tyler Scott.
Yeah, we're gonna worry about that, dude. We're gonna worry about those guys. No, I don't think we're gonna worry too much about those fucking guys, right? Probably. Now, does Joe Mixon maybe see a little increase in workload? Sure, but you're already talking about Boyd here, a guy who's seen 8, 9, and 7 targets over the last 3 games. He's part of the offense, right? So whether Mixon sees a little bit more of a target share, whatever, that just means that Boyd's only gonna see what, 10 targets? Oh no, shit. So.
like we said earlier, volume is what you want. You got volume and snaps. Like if they're on the field and they're getting, yeah,
and the potential is already there. Boyd has already shown to be a clear wide receiver too when he's on the field and getting targets. Like he has that talent. He's a good possession wide receiver. He also has a chance to finish this week 5 as a number 1 wide receiver if things were to go his way, right? And that has to mean that the Bengals offense has to click. I don't think that even if it doesn't click, this kid's still going to see this target share. My estimated targets for him are 12 targets. My stat line for him is 9 catches, 95 yards, and a touchdown. That's 24.5 points in PPR. I don't think that's that far off. He may see more targets because I think this turns into a little bit more pass happy because Arizona's run defense is really good and Joe Mixon really sucks around the football. So I think this does become a pass happy game for Cincinnati, but they're able to stay in control and move the ball down the field. Arizona has a tendency of keeping shit in front of them, so they're not going to get that big boom play. That just plays right into what Tyler Boyd does. Tyler Boyd is a underneath possession wide receiver. He's going to work his routes, work his guy. He's going to get you enough points this week to feel really fucking good if he's in like your wide receiver 3 spot.
And the tight ends there have done nothing. So that workload is still there, and we see that with his target share. You know, he's still getting those targets. So if Higgins is gone, well, it's just going to increase between him and Chase.
Yeah, I mean, it could funnel into that. I think the running backs get a little into play in this game if Higgins is out. But I also feel like it's not the only – I feel like they're losing more in the slot with Tyler Boyd being able to be there full-time with Higgins on the outside than they are with Tyler Boyd going to the outside. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what they're losing by Boyd not being able to play the slot full-time and the guy they have to put in there is a way steeper loss than them saying, okay, T. Higgins is out. We got to put Tyler Boyd at the outside wide receiver.
Yeah.
It's way less of a talent drop-off. So that would be my only concern. My hope would be that they keep Boyd playing his spot and they put another guy in there outside as the wide receiver too. And, you know, that guy can go get beat the fuck up and Boyd can play inside and just watch him eat. Like fucking Tyler Nakua Boyd.
Just a PPR machine out there just gobbling up receptions.
Yeah, just fucking ripping it up. Like I'm telling you right now, if I'm sitting there on Sunday and I'm watching Red Zone and they're showing stats, holy shit, Tyler Boyd has 15 catches today. I'm not going to be surprised.
Like, yeah, duh.
Yeah, I have. So that is our breakout players for this week. Trust us. Go out, get these dudes if you need to fill in a bye week spot or just get a better. You have to win this week. And you have nobody.
I think there's a couple guys on that list that are cheap acquisitions.
Yeah, you ain't getting fucking Brees Hall for cheap, motherfucker. Good luck.
I said a couple.
Do it.
I said a couple.
A couple.
A couple.
Couple out of 6. That's a good enough number. I like it. So if you like the video, make sure you like the video, right? Hit like. Come on, man. Help us in the algorithm. If you want to see more of what we got going on out there, hit the subscribe button, hit the all notifications button, and you will see us at least twice, maybe 3 times a week. As always, how we end these shows. Be like water, my friends. Peace.
Later.